Welcome back to Doc Morgan's Metal Reviews. I'm Doc Morgan. This is Theodore, and today we are looking at Extremity's Coffin Birth. Now, I don't often hang out with the death metal kids at the lunch table, but I'm told that this band are a supergroup comprised of members from various projects I've never heard of. So to have these guys team up Justice League style was certainly going to raise an eyebrow or two. The overall style of this album is definitely old school death metal, but there's undoubtedly some... Get off my keyboard. But there are undoubtedly some other influences, as if they've stepped out of a time machine from when death metal was still finding its feet and defining its sound. From punky drumming here to slow down doom influences. You know, these guys remind me of a pair of my wife's jeans. Brand new, but with some artistic mutilation to make it seem part of an older style. Now, to those not familiar with death metal, this is about as appealing as a bucket of vomit. However, to those of you who possess the predisposition, there is some real artistry in the chunks. The opening track is all you need to listen to if you want to browse their wares and see what they have on offer. Be warned, there is an intro track tacked onto the start of... You're not allowed there. There is an intro track tacked onto the start, which bugs me because I'd want to be able to put this song into a playlist of other death metal tunes, but anytime this song is going to pop up in the playlist, I'm going to have to sit through that fucking hurdy-gurdy fairground style bullshit at the start of it. As if it's straight up from some B-movie shitty slasher horror flick. But it doesn't waste time before bursting into this mid-tempo ripper of a tune that promptly pulls the brakes and lets itself sit back and get comfortable in the grime with this almost dissonant, almost get off the curtains, almost anti-harmonic riff with some acoustic guitar parts before really getting down to business. This is a very cleverly produced album, and what I mean by that is, despite sounding every bit as dirty and grimy as any other death metal record, this is a really good, has a very clear sound that would also hold up excellently if played on a cassette tape out of some dodgily connected, very rumbly speakers from the 80s, as some of the more hardcore death metal heads are wont to do. The two vocalists are a nice change and don't sound too dissimilar to each other, but different enough to just give the album another layer of dirt. Aesop Decker on the drums is probably the MVP here, but despite his playing being very cymbal heavy, they do sound quite a bit subdued here. There's a lot of focus taken off them sound-wise. With the two vocalists, the change in tempos, the overlaid samples thrown in on a track or two, and just the overall variation, while still remaining a very classic sounding death metal record, leads me to the conclusion that if you're new to this genre, this would not be a bad starting point. For being their debut album, I am incredibly impressed and I cannot wait to hear more from these guys.